It's our song. The song from Pokemon the Movie 2000. This is the follow-up. I'm streaming live right now. This is the follow-up on my upload here. I promised to keep everyone in on the experience of what it was like actually rewatching the movie, getting the actual climax of the video. So that's what we're here to do right now. Say hi to chat. Seth's here in the chat. Morning, boys. I recently, as in an hour ago, I probably finished the movie. I rewatched Pokemon the Movie 2000. Tried to compromise, or conquer rather, the depressing nostalgia I talked about in this video. And the movie was definitely not what I was expecting. It actually wasn't very depressing at all to watch. So I might have misstepped in characterizing this video around this one movie, because I don't think it had the same effect that some of these other things I talked about in the movie had. The song didn't hit as hard as I thought it was going to be. It's dramatic, but it's not as sad as I thought it was. The opening bit is really the only bit that I remembered, like the soft, like the sounds with the instrument, was what I was talking about because I played the song in here. I'll just open the song that I played in the actual video from the Harry Potter series. I remembered it being a lot more like that song. OST Prisoner of Azkaban is where it comes from. We'll pause our song in the background. I still like that song a lot. Not Mischief Managed, A Window into the Past. This is the song that's in the background of a part of that video. No, fucking ads. Cunts. Yikes. Start from the beginning, you prick. I'm making a point here. Maybe I just remembered this song, because this song sounds identical to what I thought. So that's the first 13 seconds of that. Then let's play the first 13 seconds of this. Maybe they just sound similar. Maybe they're both drawing from something larger. It's like you're analysing Berserk and Vinland Saga and you're noticing the similarities, and then you're like, oh, they're both just copying from Devilman. I think I might be missing the Devilman of that equivalent of this between these two things, but no, it is different. To this. Maybe I just confused myself by putting this as a proxy in the video, and I was almost expecting this song to play. Because it was very weird, because it wasn't a depressingly nostalgic experience. Not like the other things I talked about in the video. Now, maybe I just robbed myself of the depressingly nostalgic experience, because I did watch it with my brother. I was like, hey, you want to watch that Lugia movie? And he was like, yeah, whatever. So we watched it together, and it was a weird, like, sort of trip. I remember, because the short was before it, the Pikachu camp short or whatever, and like I almost got more depressing nostalgia from that, because I remember the way Poliwrath sounded, or Poliwhirl sounded, and it was a really deep voice, and I was like, holy fuck, yeah. Poliwhirl always did have a deep voice in the English dub of the anime, which was always weird. But yeah, the movie, maybe it really was that, and we were sort of talking through it. I was paying attention to it and everything, but it was very different than I remembered. The key parts that I remembered almost perfectly, like the part with the sled and Team Rocket. I was like, oh yeah. And then when they were coming in on the boat, I always remembered it being Lapras, but it obviously wasn't. It was them on the boat, which becomes a like vehicle for the plot later on. I remember it being a lot longer in my memory, of course. Like it felt very, very quick-paced, fast-paced rather. The climax sort of came out of nowhere almost. It was a bit weird. I remembered that Lugia talked, but I didn't remember that voice at all, and I don't know if I necessarily liked that voice. Yeah, it was very different to what I expected / remembered. I wonder what this symphony thing is. It's curious. It's curious with its seductive fucking thumbnail here. Lugia is still really cool. If there's something that did hold up as much as I fucking expected it to, it was the scenes with Lugia before you see Lugia, where they're like teasing what it is, and he's like creeping around in the ocean. Still the scariest shit I ever saw when I was a kid. Little me was fucking terrified of big old Lugia at the bottom of the sea with his fucking scary bright eyes swimming around in the dark. That was the scariest shit I had ever seen back in the day. Yeah, it's just the same thing, I think. I think it might be filtered or something. People are quoting the fucking thing in the thing. Um, the bad guy, I remembered, like, as it progressed, I remembered a lot more. Like, the fact that he has the Mew card was interesting, and, like, I sort of like this one a bit. Yeah, it's going good. Listen to that harmony. But yeah, maybe I just confused myself in the making of that video into confusing this song for it. Because if you were to close my eyes and remove the last 20 minutes and you played this is what I assumed the Lugia song sounded like. And they're similar instruments. I don't know what, like, type of... I know it's like a wind-based instrument, right? You blow through it and it's like an old thing. It's sort of like an ocarina, I'm guessing. But I really do like the sound of, like, the wind instrument and, like, it echoing. And that, like, this sound is really good. I like it a lot. It's sort of like organs in how they use them in Bebop. It's just saying something. I, too, have a fear of the ocean and the creatures that dwell in it. I know that my fear of that, because I have a similar fear. One of my biggest fears is, like, I somehow end up in the middle of the ocean and I have to swim around, because I'm just scared, like, Lugia will literally pop up underneath me. That's, like, a big fear of mine. Like, and it's directly derived from this movie. There are a few shots that I remembered that actually didn't exist, like when I had a scene in my mind where the camera, like, went through all these underwater tunnels and eventually it came to Lugia, whose eyes, like, lit up, and that was scary. And there was also a scene I thought I remembered of Lugia appearing underneath in a silhouetted form beneath a boat or something. Now, obviously, at the beginning of XD Gale of Darkness, Lugia appears above the boat because Shadow Lugia is the main boy in that game. What's cooler, the Lugia in this movie or Shadow Lugia? They're both pretty epic, but we'll get to rating Pokemon in a second. But yeah, it was a very different experience. I don't know. The movie looked really good, which was something I appreciated. Even the CG massive ship, like, it was hard to tell at times. It looked like it fit the art style. I think, yeah, everything in the movie looked great. I remembered the look of the Dragon Balls. I call them the little... gross. The little balls that he has to collect, the spheres and stuff that have the lightning, they call it lightning, not thunder. The lightning, the ice, and the fire, which is obviously Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. Fucking yawning prick today, aren't we? I had another point. I remember the Seeking. I'd always remembered that, though. He sounded just like I remembered. Fuck, I had a grand... Oh, the pears. There's an orange pear in this movie that I remembered. Like, I didn't remember it before watching it, but as I got there and as I saw them sitting at the table with the fruit basket on the table, I was like, holy fuck, I remember this. I remembered vividly the fact that girl ate that orange apple. Not apple, fuck, orange pear. And I was like, holy shit, that was something that really, like, triggered me a little bit. Triggered me as in triggered a memory, not made me mad. I don't know, it was weird. It didn't hit me at all, and I don't know if it's because I watched it with someone else, or if it was that I just didn't get the weight of it, or it was not a depressing movie at all. Like, it was very obviously a hero's journey. That's what it's called, right? The generic fucking Star Wars plot progression. What do they call it? The hero's journey is what it's called. They even had a weird moment where Ash, like, cried because he didn't think he could do it, which I felt was weirdly un-Ash like, but it obviously fits the hero's journey archetype where he has to reject becoming the hero, right? That's part of the hero's journey. So they had to do that for Ash in this movie, and that felt a little off. But it was a very weird experience, almost less than a depressing one, which I expected. Also, speaking of depressing nostalgia, I researched the original Yu-Gi-Oh series a couple of months ago, and I tend to get sad when I finish rewatching shows and movies from my childhood. I'm not sure why I rewatched fucking autocorrect, I swear. Well, I just read over it. Where did you say it wrong? Researched, yes. Yes, this movie didn't do that for me at all, which was very, very. I expected it to do it a lot. Maybe it's because I thought about it so much before going in, just by virtue of making a 10-minute video about it, having to script out my ideas surrounding it, then voice it, then sit through an editing process for a while. But, like, the other examples I given here were far more depressingly nostalgic. Like, Big Otter HK is the weirdest one. Like, even when I was making this video, I was like, do I even want to mention this? Because it's almost embarrassing. Because Big Otter HK is a weird thing, especially to be attached to. I'll give the rundown for this show for people that don't know. Yamada's First Time is about this girl who's a virgin, and she wants to sleep with 100 dudes before she finishes high school. And it's a rom-com surrounding that. By the end of the series, she slept with exactly 0. And the first one she tries is the main love interest and the main male lead of the entire show. But I remember watching this when I was at the end of grade 8, and we were on a holiday. And like I started watching it before the holiday, but I didn't want to watch it on the holiday because I would have had to have watched it on the like hotel Wi-Fi. We had a house, not a hotel, but it would have been on like little stick Wi-Fi or whatever. The like you buy 4 gigabytes of fucking Wi-Fi or whatever, and because I thought it would be embarrassing if my parents caught me on a site called Kiss Anime and how I'd have to explain what the fuck that was if I went over and it like recorded it or something. It was a dangerous situation, alright? So I couldn't watch it, and I remember all week I was on vacation, I just wanted to watch this show. And so when I got back and then I finished it, and so it sort of always had an impact on me like that. And then I think it was maybe exactly a year ago now, because when I finished school, I went back and I rewatched it, and it was very depressingly nostalgic, reminding me of that time. I think it was very fitting because it was right after I finished high school, and it was sort of me leaving behind a lot of things, and a lot of people almost, and it was like I watched this at the end of my first year in high school, and now I'm rewatching it at the end of my last year at high school, and it was just a weird experience overall. And I remember listening to the OP and the ED of this show did give me pretty big depressing nostalgia of like, holy fuck, look at like the last time I watched this show, and it was like comparing that to now and like the different circumstances from now. And yeah, and when this show finished, I did have that feeling that Seth's talking about in the chat with Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know if I'd have depressing nostalgia for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. I definitely would have nostalgia. I'll tell you what, this is untrue, because when the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remix theme comes on, I get really depressingly nostalgic, because I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! The Yu-Gi-Oh! Theme, the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Series with my mum when I was like 3 years old. Like the same time I was probably watching this movie every weekend at my cousin's house. Like, I got into it when I was really young. It was like, I was probably 5, I'd say, because my brother wasn't watching it with us. He was still young. He was too young, and he's 3 years younger than me. And because it was the end, it was the Bakura versus Yugi fight, but it was when they go back in time or whatever to the Egypt stuff. I've never rewatched this even to this day. I think that's one of the final arcs in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! And I remember like every night, I thought it was like at 11 o'clock. It was probably at like 6 o'clock or something, but it was supposed to be really late on like a Saturday night when my dad had gone to bed because he has to work weird times. And I'd watch it with my mum. And I remember the Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess it's the second theme. It's not the original one. And because that used to be the theme for it. And this song it gives me the depressing nostalgic feeling. This opening is insane. Like, it's doing it now. I got the fucking chills on my arm. And it's so different. It's what's the third one? Fuck off. Dumb fuck. This is the same theme, but this was probably the version. Because it was way later. So fucking good. Good shit. I want to see what the fourth one is. Give me another ad. I fucking dare ya. No, I think this was actually the one where the light comes down. Yeah, it was, because look at they're in ancient Egypt. Real shit. Real fucking shit. Good shit. That does it. But this movie really didn't. It was very weird. It's almost like I expected something, and it just didn't deliver almost. And it wasn't. I didn't dislike the movie or anything. I didn't even think it was disappointing. It was disappointing in the depressing nostalgia category, but really in nothing else it was. Um, if I could think of something that I think would give me depressing nostalgia now, like going back and watching Takeover Brooklyn 1, NXT Takeover Brooklyn, which is a wrestling show, I think that'd do it because of the Sasha Bailey match. But I really can't think of much else besides this movie. Like, Del Toro Quest now is sort of doing it, but I'm sort of over it. Like the earlier periods that I talked about in my depressing nostalgia video. Harry Potter did it a lot, but it's hard to remember what you were depressingly nostalgic about now that you're over it. Like with The Revenge, the other show that I talked about in the video, like I remember the first episode, like the first season was the most depressingly nostalgic about that. I got fucking 7 viewers right now. Holy fucking shit. Say something in chat, boys. Have you seen the new video? Fucking click on that shit. 46 views. We gotta get it up there. It's doing a lot better. I really like that we're starting to get an install base properly. Like, when we had 600 subscribers on the old channel, that was the fucking cream of the crop, because we could fucking upload anything and it'd get like 100 views. It could be the most throwaway bullshit. And we're building back up, boys. Slowly building up. Subscribe, follow on the Twitch fucking channel. Alright, I want to hear the fuck off alert in my ears, boys. If you're here and you're not following, I need to get to 50 followers to be a fucking affiliate. If you're watching the YouTube video later, please just do it. If you have a Twitch account, even if you don't use it, just click the follow button. Don't turn notifications on if you don't want to see. I just need to get to that 50, alright? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But I talked about Revenge here, and I remember the first season doing it, and the first episode particularly did it because of the song I talk about in this video, because I remembered that song so much. And I remember this scene doing it too, where she's walking on the beach. But as I got further into that show, it was sort of just a more nostalgic than a depressing nostalgic feeling. What else did I mention? Did I just mention? Yeah, I just mentioned Yamada, Del Toro Quest, Revenge, and Harry Potter. And I think more things do it. More things do it. I just can't think of them. And almost anticipating them maybe defeats the purpose of the depressing nostalgia. It's very fucking hard to explain. I don't know what I was going for here. Honestly, this was just an excuse for me to bring myself to rewatch the Lugia movie. And that's happened now, and now we're talking about it. Is there anything else we want to say about the movie? The movie itself, I don't know. I really liked how it looked. The writing in these things, one day you'll blow up my boy Seth. Alright, hearts in chat, boys, hearts. But, fuck, you've derailed me, Seth. Something about the movie I was going to say. I got no fucking idea what I was going to say. Now I'm just thinking about the movie. What else can we say about it? It looked good. That was the main takeaway. Oh, the writing I was talking about. The joke writing in it was really clever. Everything like rhymed. Team Rocket would go back and forth doing parodies of the motto that they usually do, and everything would rhyme and fit in context. It was really cool. The cheeky sort of writing, the tongue-in-cheek puns and everything that's in all of the dialogue between the characters was really fun. They're very heavy. I know this is being talked about a lot in the fucking Pokemon community. They're very heavy with the Misty and Ash things in this movie. They don't go outright and have them like make out or anything at the end of the movie. But I have a feeling that's just because of the hero's journey theme they were going for in this movie, because it's very much a traditional hero's journey tale. Even if it sort of doesn't fit Ash as a character, they almost try and reset it. Yeah. So they go with the Ash Misty angle quite hard, but nothing happens in the end because they don't want to have ramifications for these movies, and they want to act like they're not canonical, which means they're not canonical, I guess. I remembered Tracy exists. Remember that bloke? Yeah, he didn't have a character arc at all. I don't remember him doing anything useful in the entire movie. We did see Brock for a few frames running in Professor Ivy's the background of her office. That was fun. There was a lot of clever little visual things as well. You can tell movie animation is just top quality because you can tell they've had more money and more time, and they have more drawings to do. so they can pump out better quality products. I remember there was one instance in the scene where like Misty goes into the water to save Ash, and comes back out, and like I thought to myself, like, where's Togepi while she's doing this? And then when they get back to shore, Togepi is sitting on the Sea King's, not the Sea King, on the Slow King's, like a shelter helmet thing that's on his head, and Togepi was hanging out there, like being cute and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's a little visual detail they didn't need, but it showed out. I noticed, and it was cool. So yeah, I don't think I have much more to say about Depressing Nostalgia. It didn't have the impact I think I built up in this video that it was going to have, and maybe that's my fault. But I'm a fucking yawning prick. That's really all I got to say about the Loogie movie. I thought I had more to say, but I guess I don't. So for the YouTube audience, support links in the description below. Thanks.